Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for being with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Another great football weekend. I don't know how it went for you, but it was awesome. It's awesome. BYU Cougars still unbeaten.
Top 10 team now.
Number 10 in both polls. Plus, they did it with their third string quarterback in the second half. The starter was out. Our second string guy might be as good or even better than our starter. He played and then got a concussion at the end of the first half. So we had our third string guy that had to step up and get us through. Week before that, we had 5 defensive starters out for the game. So they're doing it even with some adversity. Love it. Green Bay Packers won. How about the Falcons? How'd they do?
No, they didn't win.
They did not win.
They blew it at the end because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm. Again? Jeez.
Yeah.
That's got to be somewhat frustrating.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Quite so. Hey, Nebraska won big time. Yeah, that was fun.
Who'd they play?
Northwestern.
Oh, yeah. And wasn't it like 59-6 or something?
56-7. Should have been more. But, hey,
wow.
when you get your fourth stringers in there,
yeah,
you stop scoring. But, boy, that was fun. That was good. Michigan next week. Maybe we can help out BYU and knock off a team that's ahead of you.
That would be nice. Yep. Sadly, Cincinnati beat Notre Dame. Which,
yeah.
That sucks.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Brady. He won in New England last night.
Barely, but he did win. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Returned. I didn't watch the game. What kind of reception did he get?
He got a huge one before the game started. Okay, everyone
Cheers.
just they loved him, greatest of all time. As soon as he walked onto the field for the first play, they were booing. It was hysterical.
Really?
It was 180 degrees. It was like, all right, festivities are over. Now we hate you.
It's a cool way to do it, though.
Yeah, that was funny.
Show your appreciation for everything he did, and then when the game's on, he's with the opponent. So,
boy, they almost lost. If not for a last-second field goal. Came up short for New England.
All right. So, man, we are deep into football season already. It's October 4th. It's unbelievable how fast this goes by. We're over a quarter of the way through the football season already. It's just, I can't believe how fast it goes by. October 4th. We're going to blink, and it's going to be Halloween. Then you blink again, Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas where none of your relatives can come see you. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's too soon to tell whether I'm going to allow you to have family members or not. It's kind of what Fauci has claimed, just like last year. Last year at this time, they were saying the same thing. You might have to skip having family and friends over for Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Remember that? Deborah Birx? Dr. Birx said, nah, you should be traveling for Thanksgiving. And what did she do? She went to go and see her parents. Oh, yeah, but they're just doing poorly. Everybody's parents are doing poorly. You don't get an exception. Screw you. Ugh. These hypocrites. In all ways, hypocrites.
And it was... this is just a short time. Don't worry about it. We'll just, you're going to have to get by on your own this year. But then, sometime soon, probably next year, you'll be able to be right back to normal. Nope. I don't think they're ever going to announce that things are back to normal. I don't think they're ever going to say, okay, yes, we're pretty much done with all the restrictions. Don't worry about it. Don't wear masks. Everybody's been vaccinated who needs to be. Or they've had the virus and they have natural immunity. That announcement is never going to come.
Yeah, in fact, you've got the CEO for BioNTech who is saying that we're going to need, now, this isn't a booster, we're going to need a brand new COVID-19 shot next year about this time because... the way that morphs and adapts and stuff, we're just going to need a brand new chemical to put into your body. I
thought these were perfect. There's no side effects. There's no problems with them. There's no reason not to get these.
You are a cash cow to them. That is all you are. It's not going to be about health at any point. Okay? It has not been, and it will not be.
No, it's about money.
It's about money.
And control.
You've got to understand that. For companies, it's money.
Money and control.
For governments, it's control. My gosh, stop.
It's unbelievable. I mean, really unbelievable. And to see them doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting us to swallow it every single time.
And so many among us are, Pat.
I know. That's what's encouraging them. They got enough lemmings, enough sheep that are just going to follow along.
Well, not only...
Okay, well, Dr. Fauci said we can't get together, so we're not going to be able to have you guys come for Christmas.
And not only follow along, but shame the rest of us.
Yeah.
Until we comply.
Yes. Yeah, because we're trying to kill them. Even though we know, when I'm in a group of people and I don't have a mask on, I know for a fact I don't have the virus, so I'm not passing it on to anybody. So I'm not the murderer you're making me out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if these vaccines worked at all, look at the Northeast, where they have the highest vaccination rates, but yet currently they have the highest number of cases of COVID. Vermont, of course, a pioneer with 70% of their population vaxxed, is the leading state as far as COVID cases right now.
How strange.
But
how strange.
You don't get the vax, you're the kid. Because, all of us unvaxxed are just rushing up to Vermont right now and breathing on all of the vaccinated citizens of the green state.
Spitting in their mouths. That's what I like to do. I like to spit in their mouth. Just to make sure they get it, even though I don't have it. I want to make sure.
Like you get people to stand still long enough?
Open your mouth really wide. Let me see your... And then just spit in their mouth.
They fall for that every time?
Every time. Vermonters. So stupid.
Green Mountain State. Open your mouth.
So bizarre.
So anyway,
but that's where we are right now.
Because it runs in cycles, does it not? I mean, one week, and see, when it's Mississippi or Florida or Texas that's having a bad time of it, because CNN makes sure to tell everyone, well, no one watches it, so maybe you wouldn't know. But when the Northeast has it, and that's where the big outbreak is, I'm not seeing any graphics on CNN today about...
We're not talking about it.
Yeah, where's the Northeast? Where's the New England state outbreak? What's going on up there, huh? Come on now.
Right, in these super vaccinated areas. What is the vaccine for anyway? What does it do? Because it doesn't prevent the virus. So I'm just wondering, I guess, okay, it stops you from getting severely sick. All right, well then you're all set, right?
That's all you got, though? That's where they're down to?
Yes.
They're down to, it used to be, okay, look, it's like a bulletproof vest, right? You're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became, you won't go to the hospital. And now they're saying, look, you're not going to get as
You're not going to get as sick.
Yeah.
Or if you do go to the hospital, it would have been worse.
Yeah.
And if you go ahead and die, it would have been worse still.
Yeah.
You could have double died if you didn't have the vaccine.
Could have died screaming.
Yeah, maybe you did anyway. I don't know. But you could have died screaming. It would have been like your eyes melting if you didn't have the vaccine. Your eyes would have melted. Did you want that? Well,
no.
You can't answer because
no,
you're dead. So never mind. I withdraw the question, Your Honor. It's just bizarre.
And
it's bizarre.
And Dianne Feinstein saying she introduced a bill that says we're not going to let you get on an airplane if you're not vaxxed.
Shut up. Shut up.
Your world is changing every minute of every day, and the trajectory is not good.
This is really something. She introduced this last Wednesday, too. It would require vaccination, a negative coronavirus test, or recovery from COVID-19. Oh, okay, so you got to prove one of those three things. This latest proposed legislation follows a bill introduced earlier this month by Don Beyer that would require proof that air or Amtrak travelers have been vaccinated or tested negative. Ensuring that air travelers protect themselves and their destination communities from this disease is critical to prevent the next surge, particularly if we confront new, more virulent variants of COVID-19, Feinstein said. Feinstein, I hear it pronounced both ways, and then I get confused as to which is the right way. She pointed out that air travelers coming to the U.S. from abroad already have to provide a negative test, even if they're traveling from countries with lower rates of transmission. Well, that makes sense. Starting in early November, restrictions on travel from 33 countries will fall as the United States moves to a new vaccine requirement for foreign visitors. Those visitors also need to show proof of a negative test.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing.
How long is this going to last?
Oh, until the end of time. I mean, this is.
Yeah, they're not going to.
This is the world now, right? Like I just heard this guy in Ireland was on the Husker pregame show selling this nice trip to go see the Nebraska Northwestern game a year from now. And it sounded great, you know. And I thought, wait a minute. You know what? I've already gotten burned on the Counting Crows tickets. Let me see what Ireland. Yep, got to have a vaccine. Okay, well, then you're going to put somebody else's butts in those seats because it's not going to be me. And your world's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until you push back and demand that because you got Mark Cuban and so many other NBA arenas now saying...
Can't go to a Mavs game without being vaccinated.
Yeah. It's so stupid. It's like you have to show that you've tested negative in the last 48 hours, but the vax people don't have to. What have we been talking about? The vax carry the virus too. So you could be sitting next to someone at a Mavs game who has been vaccinated but is carrying the virus...
Or
you can catch it from him.
They could also just be leaking their spike protein all over you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't want your leakages.
Yes, thank you.
That should be the next episode of Leakages right there.
Oh.
The leakage of your spike protein as you sit there.
Thank you.
Vaccinated and stuff.
Thank you, Pat. I'm sorry, there is no NBA basketball game worth me getting the shot, okay?
You know, I'm just so disinterested in the NBA now.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Go ahead. Have only vaccinated. Have only Democrats. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But what I want to see the argument, because taxpayers funded a good portion of the Mavericks arena. I'd like to see Greg Abbott step in and say, whoa, wait a minute there, Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
You're banning people that funded that facility from entering it? I don't think so.
Right. That's a really good point. Taxpayers built that thing in large part.
Yeah, before he even owned the team.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Also, former Notre Dame professor who routinely attacked unvaccinated people as selfish passed away after she received her third COVID vaccine. 67-year-old Karen Croak Heisler received her first Pfizer COVID jab on January 13th of this year. Just got my first dose of the vaccine. Never been happier to be old. Now let's get these vaccines rolling for everybody, she said. Just got my first dose of the vaccine. Then on April 9th, she tweeted that she had 0 side effects after receiving her second Pfizer shot. She says neither John, I guess John's her husband, neither John nor I had problems with the second Pfizer shot, except a sore arm. Earlier this month, Heisler tweeted she got her third shot. Just received my third COVID vaccine. A week later, she started to have complications and cursed the unvaccinated. Now, did she have? So still waiting to see a doctor. Although they've run tests, still no room in the hospital in ER Bay. PA announcement just said ER could not accept more patients. This is a big hospital. Damn the unvaccinated.
Damn the unvaccinated.
They have made life hell for a lot of people.
No, the hospitals who will not allow the nurses and doctors who refuse the jab to work there. That's why you have a shortage, woman.
Did she actually have COVID, or was it complications from the vaccine that killed her? Don't know. Don't know. But she continued to blame the unvaccinated right up to the end, even though she was triply vaccinated.
Yeah, she had COVID. Yeah, that's what she got.
She did have COVID.
Yeah, she got that. Yeah.
Jeez.
But she's or maybe you're right. Maybe it was the I don't know. I printed that story up Friday. I forgot. It's been a long weekend.
If she had the vaccine. It's supposed to prevent the severe illness and death, and it didn't again in that situation. But get the vaccine.
Right, so either the vaccine for her didn't stop her from catching COVID and dying. Or, like you mentioned, was it the vaccine?
Was it the vaccine?
I don't know. Either way, what was the point of getting the vaccine?
Right.
Oof. Terrible. Just terrible.
It's really sad. It's sad. And it's sad that they're pitting us against each other now.
Oh, they love it, man. The politicians
sad.
are loving this, man.
Yeah, they are really keeping us divided. Let me tell you about Keeps. How will you know when you're ready to do something about your receding hairline and your bald spot? Or just really, really thin spot? When they're the first things you see in the mirror, that's probably the time when you say, okay, now I'm going to do something about it. Mm-hmm. And the thing you can do about it is go to Keeps. Keeps.com/Pat. And this is going to change your life. Keeps has more 5-star reviews than any of their competitors. And hundreds of thousands of guys trust Keeps for their hair loss prevention. They offer doctor-recommended, FDA-approved hair treatment. And because these are the generic versions that they sell, you pay about half the price as the other guys. And best of all, you do everything online. You just answer a few questions, take some pictures and post them, and then a licensed doctor will review your information and get back to you with the right hair loss treatment for you. And if you have any questions along the way, all you have to do is message your Keeps doctor. You can do that 24/7 and track your progress with Keeps Progress Tracking Tool. So to get you started, we got a special discount when you go to keeps.com/Pat. You'll get 50% off your first order. 50% off at keeps.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Matt. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Senator Rand Paul asserting that natural immunity, he's so good lately on this particular issue. I mean, he's really been taking people to task. And so here he is talking about the fact that natural immunity is as good as a COVID-19 vaccine or even better.
Yeah, with the HSS Secretary.
Thanks so much. Thank you, Chair Murray.
Thank you. Senator Paul.
Mr. Becerra, are you familiar with an Israeli study that had 2.5 million patients and found that the vaccinated group was actually 7 times more likely to get infected with COVID than the people who had gotten COVID naturally?
Senator, I'd have to get back to you on that one. I'm not familiar with that study.
Well, you think you might want to be if you're going to travel the country insulting the millions of Americans, including NBA star Jonathan Isaac, who have had COVID, recovered, look at a study with 2.5 million people and say, well, you know what? It looks like my immunity is as good as a vaccine or not.
Or better.
In a free country, maybe I ought to be able to make that decision. Instead, you've chosen to travel the country calling people like Jonathan Isaac and others, myself included, flat earthers. We find that very insulting, goes against the science. Are you a doctor or a medical doctor?
I've worked over 30 years on health policy.
You're not a medical doctor. Do you have a science degree? And yet you travel the country calling people flat earthers
So great.
who have had COVID,
Wow.
looked at studies of millions of people, and made their own personal decision that their immunity they naturally acquired is sufficient. But you presume somehow to tell over 100 million Americans who have survived COVID that we have no right to determine our own medical care. You alone are on high, and you've made these decisions, a lawyer with no scientific background, no medical degree. This is an arrogance coupled with an authoritarianism that is unseemly and un-American. You, sir, are the one ignoring the science. The vast preponderance of scientific studies, dozens and dozens, show robust, long-lasting immunity after COVID infection. Even the CDC does not recommend measles vaccine if you have measles immunity. The same was true for smallpox. But you ignore history and science to shame the flat earthers, as you call them. You should be ashamed of yourself and apologize to the American people for being dishonest about naturally acquired immunity.
Yes, exactly.
You want more people to choose vaccination? So do I. You want to lessen vaccine hesitancy? So do I. You want to have that happen? quit lying to people about naturally acquired immunity. Quit lording it over people, acting as if these people are deplorable and unwashed. Try persuasion instead of government cudgels. Try humility instead of arrogance. Try freedom instead of coercion. But most of all, try understanding that there's no more basic medical right than deciding what we inject into our bodies. Today, after hearing that millions of people in a study show without a doubt that there's a great deal of immunity from getting it naturally, do you want to apologize to the 100 million Americans who suffered through COVID,
I bet he
survived,
does. I bet he
have
does.
immunity,
Pause it for a second.
and yet you want to...
Who wants to take a bet that he does want to apologize to everybody he called a flat earther?
Well, what are the odds that I'm going to be getting on that? God.
There's absolutely no way on earth. This is one of the best dress downs I've seen.
Yeah.
Maybe ever. All right, let's see the rest.
Hold them down and vaccinate them. Do you want to apologize for calling those people flat earthers?
Senator, I appreciate your question and appreciate that everyone has their opinion.
Do you appreciate it?
We follow the facts and the science at HHS.
No,
We
you don't.
Use the
He just pointed out that you
expertise
don't.
of the medical professionals, the scientists at HHS to make decisions.
An attorney.
It's a team effort, and we rely on what is on the ground showing us results.
Except for the dozens and dozens of studies. In fact, most, if not all of the studies show robust immunity from getting the disease naturally. The CDC says if you've had measles and have immunity, you don't have to be vaccinated. The same was true of smallpox. You're selectively doing this because you want us to submit to your will.
Thank you.
You have no scientific background, no scientific degrees,
An attorney.
and yet you aren't really concerned about 100
Phenomenal.
million Americans who had the disease. You just want to tell us, do as you're told. That's what you're telling us. You want to mandate this on all of us. You're going to tell us if I have 100 employees, you're going to put me out of business with a $700,000 fine if I don't obey what you think is a science. Don't you understand that it's presumptuous for you to be in charge of all the science? Have you ever heard of a second opinion? I can't go to my doctor and ask my doctor's opinion. I mean, this is incredibly arrogant, combined with this authoritarian nature that you think, well, we'll just tell all of America to do what I say, and they better, or we'll fine them, or put them in jail, or not let them go to school, or not let them travel. The science is against you on this. The science is clear. Naturally acquired immunity is as good as a vaccine. The Israel study actually showing it better. This isn't an argument against the vaccine, but it's an argument for letting people make a decision who already have immunity. You're not willing to consider natural immunity?
Senator, our team has reviewed every study that's out there on COVID, whether it's from Israel, from the U.S., or wherever else. They have used the facts that have been provided through the rigorous research that's been done to reach conclusions. 660,000 Americans and more have died because of COVID. We're trying to do everything we can to save as many as possible. We're using the facts, we're following the science, and following the law.
Nobody's arguing the severity of this, but you are completely ignoring the science on natural immunity. So's Fauci, so's the whole group. You're just ignoring it because you want submission. You want everybody just to submit to your will, do as you're told.
So right.
Despite the evidence, the large body of scientific evidence that says naturally acquired immunity does work is an important part of how we're all going to recover from this. So's the vaccine. But when you add them together, we're at a much different place than if you ignore them. 100 million Americans, by conservative CDC estimates, have had the disease. 200 million or more now have been vaccinated. It's a good thing. Combined together, it's how the disease is. Nobody wants to get the disease. We're not advising anybody to get the disease. But if you're unlucky enough to get it, think of the nurses and doctors and orderlies who all bravely took care of COVID patients. There was no vaccine for a year and a half. They took care of people, risked their lives.
They made good dance videos, too.
Survived. And now people like you are arrogant enough to say, you can no longer work in the hospital because you've already had the disease. We're going to force you to take a vaccine that the science does not prove is better than naturally acquired. That's an arrogance that should be chastened.
Really,
Thank you.
really
Senator-
awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we let all 6 minutes of a video play? That almost never
It
happens.
was too good.
But that was good start to finish.
Yeah, and I know how Rand Paul likes to call people out for lying to Congress, but he just said, Becerra, right? He just said, my team, we've been looking at the such and such study, such and such, the Israeli study. You just told him at the beginning of your answer that you weren't familiar with it. So which is it, bro?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But just to point out, as Rand Paul did, The Health and Human Services Secretary there, it does not have a background in science, does not have a background in medicine. He is an attorney.
And attorneys, they know what you should do with your body,
Yes.
right? With your health choices. Attorneys are skilled in the treatment of viruses and what you should be doing to treat a virus or not contract.
Takes one
a
to know
virus.
one, right?
Yeah, right.
Let's see, attorneys are a virus.
You're calling them a virus.
It's
I see what you did there.
It's a long way to the well, not that long, was it?
No.
That's pretty good, right? Did it make you laugh inside? I know it didn't make you
Inside,
laugh outside. Yes.
I'm guffawing.
Guffawing. Oh, yes.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I normally don't guffaw.
No.
Especially on the outside.
Right.
But on the inside right now, I'm guffawing.
I thought so.
Yeah. California is going to become the first state to require vaccine for students to attend school. So even the young kids, even the kids who are at the least amount of risk, even the kids who have a 0.0% chance of dying from this, they're going to have to get the vaccine. Doesn't matter. Gavin Newsom on Friday announced that the coronavirus shot will be added to 10 other immunizations already required for school kids, including those for measles and mumps. Exemptions would be granted for medical reasons or because religious or personal beliefs, but the exemption rules haven't been written yet. And here's the problem with the religious thing. They keep telling us there are no religious exemptions because no religion is against this vaccine. No major religion has said, yeah, we don't recommend that people, our members, take that. So they're just blowing up the religious exemption. They don't care about it.
Yeah, somebody made a great point on Twitter. It said Gavin Newsom just announced the vaccine mandate for K through 12 students days after opposing one for prison guards. California kids made the mistake of not giving millions to his campaigns. This is not about health, okay? It's not. Period.
No, it's about control, and it's about money. It's about money. The mandate will be phased in as the U.S. government grants final vaccine approval for age groups. Currently, kids 12 to 15 can only get the Pfizer vaccine because of the emergency authorization. Vaccines for children 5 to 11, though, are in the testing stage. And soon, it's going to be really soon. They're going to say, yep, 5 to 11, too. And right now, they're working on testing it in infants.
Yeah, remember we said by November, there was a thing. I think it was Pfizer. Somebody around sometime in November, they're expecting to have it for babies. Leave them alone. I can't take this.
Babies. We saw the effect on one baby last week. It was really disturbing. It's so disturbing we didn't even show it because the baby's just convulsing. Yeah, so essentially.
The mom in Britain was told, if you want to continue to receive prenatal care, you need to get the vax right now. So a month or two there before she was set to give birth, she acquiesced and took the shot, and her baby now has, as you said, constant convulsing, and it's just sad.
Really sad. Jeez. So this mandate in California eventually will affect more than 6.7 million public and private school students. They already have the mask requirement, of course, to go to school, so they have to wear that all stinking day. Until now, Newsom had left the decision on student vaccine mandates to local school districts, leading to a variety of different orders. In Los Angeles, a vaccine mandate for eligible students is set to take effect in January. We're still doing this 2 years out. January will be 2 years of this nonsense. Wow. Enough is enough.
It'll never be enough for them.
No, it won't. Fully vaxxed former CNN contributor, too, Mark Lamont Hill, just suffered a heart attack and is being hospitalized with blood clots while he's still blasting NBA players who have criticized COVID-19. This after getting the vaccine. But he says it's got nothing to do with his problems right now, have nothing to do with the vaccine. Well, that may or may not be true. You don't really know is the thing.
He's a young man.
42 years old, had a heart attack. Huh. Weird. Weird. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the vaccine. Go get another shot. Good luck with that. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Got some tweets here. Todd Curtis tweets, Hey, ask Senator Paul to please just put it this way. The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is impossible if a person is not free to live their own lives and make their own choices about their health. This violates the very foundation of our nation. Rowdy introvert, the new normal reminds me of New Coke from back in the day. We were skeptical at the thought, tried it, and confirmed that it sucks.
Yeah, but the good news with that is we went back to old Coke.
Right. It was classic for a while.
Classic Coke.
Classic Coke.
Coca-Cola Classic.
Courier for Christ tweets, will FDA approved ever lose its credibility? It has for some people, but they'll just keep jamming it down our throats. Jimmy Dimples, please don't guffaw on the outside, Pat. Someone will accuse you of being a super spreader.
Keep your guffaws inside.
It's wise advice.
Sure.
Let's go to Kelly in Connecticut. Hey, Kelly, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, guys. How are you guys this morning? And
Good.
I do care. How are you?
Fine. We're good. Thank you for asking.
Speak for yourself.
Good. I just wanted to share with you guys that my son right now is in boot camp for the Air Force. We were told before he went in that there would be a chance that we would need to be vaccinated in order to see him graduate. And that is actually what's happening. We were sent a letter. It's an official Air Force letter, and it says, here are your tickets for graduation. You must show proof of being fully vaccinated in order to attend this ceremony. It also states at the bottom, fully vaccinated, I'm not sure what they call them in the Air Force, fully vaccinated kids can leave the base. Those that are not fully vaccinated may not leave the base after the ceremony. But my son went into the Air Force unvaccinated. He chose that's what he wanted to do. And he has already had his first vaccination. They already did that. And I asked him, I said, how many of you guys had to do that? And it was less than 5 actually had to get vaccinated. That's how many went in already vaccinated.
Wow. Only 5 resisted it up until this point, huh?
Yes.
It's really something. Wow. All right.
And you're looking at 18, 19-year-old kids.
Right. Who really, in my opinion, don't need to be vaccinated.
Yeah.
They're just,
Exactly.
Thanks a lot, Kelly. I mean, if they're healthy and they don't have other comorbidities, there's very little reason to be vaccinated right now.
Yeah.
Why are you insisting on it?
Let's see. I forgot which government it was. I want to say it was Ontario, but I'm not positive. But yeah, here we go. Ontario now recommending against Moderna vaccine for men ages 18 to 24 due to the risk of myocarditis. There you go. So now you've got one of the more crazy governments during this whole thing, Ontario.
Actually doing something sane.
Yeah. But this is the problem about, we just talked about, we're going to get back to the normal, the old normal.
Yeah.
Screw the new normal. She just talked about how in order to see her son graduate, not only does he have to get the vax, but they have to get it to attend. And we're going that direction, not the other way, because now you've got a Louisiana health system will charge employees with unvaccinated spouses a monthly premium of $200 starting next year. In other words, if your spouse doesn't have the vax as well, then we're going to punish you for them.
It's not America. It's not America anymore. If this is how we're going to conduct ourselves, it's just not the same country that we grew up in. Also, we were talking about Fauci earlier. Let's go ahead and play where he's talking about Christmas already.
Christmas time.
I just love this. This is good
We
stuff.
can gather for Christmas, or it's just too soon to tell?
Margaret, it's just too soon to tell. We've just got to concentrating on continuing to get those numbers down and not try to jump ahead by weeks or months and say what we're going to do at a particular time. Let's focus like a laser on continuing to get those cases down. And we can do it by people getting vaccinated, and also in a situation where boosters are appropriate to get people boosted, because we know that they can help greatly in diminishing infection and diminishing advanced disease, the kinds of data that are now accumulating in real time.
Yeah. First, we were gonna we're going to flatten the curve.
Yeah, 15 days to
15
stop the
days
spread.
to stop the spread and flatten the curve.
And then we're good. Right?
Then, okay, if we just have a vaccine, everything's going to be fine. Okay, we get the vaccine, you get the double shot of the vaccine, and then that's not enough. Okay, now if you just get the third shot, the booster shot, now you still have to wear the mask, of course, because you got to protect others from you or whatever.
I don't know. I'm lost. But you're right. And this guy, this clown who says, well, first of all, don't ask this guy a question like that and feed that ego of his.
So do we have permission to celebrate Christmas, Lord Fauci?
Yeah, right.
Okay. He says, don't be jumping ahead. That's all he has done. Well, we're not there yet. We might get there at some point. He's always jumping ahead and telling us what doomsday prophecy is coming down the pike. And lo and behold, the magic whiteboard in the basement of the CDC comes true yet again. Oh my gosh, this guy. I can't take it.
But Keith, it's time to talk about and think about the greater good. And Dr. St. Fauci tells us about that too.
But you are a member of society. And as a member of society, reaping all the benefits of being a member of society, you have a responsibility to society. And I think each of us, particularly in the context of a pandemic that's killing millions of people, you have got to look at it. It's not killing millions here. There comes a time when you do have to give up what you consider your individual right of making your own decision.
What?
For the greater good of society.
No. I'm sorry, no. And it's not time to give up my individual rights. That is frightening rhetoric. Wow, these guys they're just saying it now.
Evil.
Hey, your individual rights don't exist anymore because we've got a situation here. So it's time to give up your freedom for your safety.
This man is a danger to you and your children's future.
Time to give up your freedom for your safety. Don't worry about it.
That sounds familiar.
It's for the greater good.
You should write that one down.
Yeah, probably. Just another one of our American ideals and principles right out the window. It's just done. I mean, if you were to quote Franklin and Jefferson, because both of them said something very similar, that if you're willing to give up your freedom for your safety, you'll lose both, and you deserve neither, because you're so stupid that you were willing to do that. Because it can come up at any time for any reason, and it is. Look at how often it comes up, and look at how easily people are just throwing their freedom away and trying to take ours from us. Our freedom of choice to do what we want with our bodies. And they supposedly wholeheartedly embrace that when it comes to abortion, when it's not even their body we're talking about, it's the one inside them we're talking about. Fauci is just dangerous. Wow, they don't care. They're just, and people will just say,
"Yep, yeah, that's right. It's for the greater good. It's collective salvation." Okay?
Yeah. And it would be one thing if, like you said, they were talking about just eliminating their freedoms, right?
Yeah, right.
Like they use their choice, their freedom of choice, to say, I want the vaccine, and
that's great.
I want to wear a mask, and I want this and that.
Nobody's stopping you.
Yeah.
But don't force it on me.
Precisely. How is that so hard to grasp?
I don't know. I don't know. And then they'll say that you're endangering them. You're trying to kill them. Well, you're protected, though. Isn't that the whole point of this? Where's that girl from last week or the week before? If you have that, Rob, either one of them, I don't care. We should always keep one of those at the ready.
Guys, please get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated. I cannot stand the anti-vax community. You guys are selfish killers, and you are killing everybody that you come in contact with because you are spreading the COVID. And I took an FDA-approved vaccine that is safe and effective. And if you come in contact with me, you're putting me at risk.
Wait.
Well, technically, no. I'm can't put me at risk.
Yeah, you're protected.
But you're putting public safety on the... Because if you come into a room with people who are fully vaccinated and we're protected, then and you're not protected, then you're
then
get your glasses. Read it carefully.
There we go. All right. Now she's going to get
You're
down.
unvaccinated and we're vaccinated, then we're at risk because you're selfish.
I'm selfish.
You're selfish. You're selfish killers.
Selfish killers. That's what the argument comes down to, really, right there. So great. Let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you have a dog that's a finicky eater, this might help a lot. And in addition to dogs, all the dogs that I'm familiar with, well, except for Keith, but almost all the dogs that I'm familiar with love this stuff. And once they eat Rough Greens, they're getting the essential vitamins and minerals and the probiotics and omega oils that come with it. This is just a supplement for the dog food because the dog food has been sterilized so that it lasts up to 3 years on the grocery store shelves. So this puts back into it all of that live active stuff that your dog needs to become more active and more puppy-like. And my dog wouldn't even touch her food without this on top of it. That's how much they love it. But there are dogs like Keith's out there, apparently, that don't take to it immediately. Find out if your dog will like it or not. They're willing to send you a free bag so you can try it out and don't waste your time and money. So go to roughgreens.com and they'll ship off a little bag that you can try out for your dog for a few days. All you have to pay is shipping. Just go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFF greens.com or call 833-ROUGH-DOG.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
New COVID vaccine needed. We mentioned that.
Oh, yeah.
By 2022 from BioNTech. That's the Pfizer BioNTech one.
Ooh, I wonder if Joe Biden's going to make a big production out of getting
the
that
new
shot.
one, too?
Yeah, look at me, everybody.
Yeah.
Right here.
Here he is getting his first jab.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's just show
So, yeah, we can't let this go. I'm
Biden's
sorry.
arm. People are wondering if it's his same arm. He could have just shaved his
Yeah,
arm.
that's what I'm wondering. Did
for
he
the first time, and then he forgot to shave for the second time.
Look at how hairy that arm is compared to the last time. That is gross. That is grotesque.
It is.
Bro.
It is. And then, so he's got another vaccine.
Yeah.
That next year, a brand new one, where they're trying to develop. But what Pfizer is also doing is developing something very similar to Ivermectin. Huh. I thought Ivermectin was just silly horse dewormer.
Right.
And it was killing people and poisoning humans.
Of course it is.
Despite the fact that, by the way, again, Ivermectin won a Nobel Prize in 2015 because it helped so many human beings.
Yeah, but that's before Trump said anything good about it.
That's right.
See?
That's right.
So that's a different time.
Yes. Well, it was a different
Pat.
time. They're just finding out that some of the properties that make it such a good, effective medicine against, things that are infecting your body, parasites, parasites, it's the same thing that also make it effective for some reason against this virus.
Yeah, but Pat, it loses its effectiveness when Donald Trump says it's good.
That is
it's
true.
Weird. It's kind of like you remember when you were a kid and you're like, I want a Coke, and your parents are like, no, we got to mix it half water, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, it reduces the effectiveness of the drug if Donald Trump likes it. See what I mean? Kind of cuts it down.
Right.
Cuts its effectiveness in half.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Even Bill Maher was defending Ivermectin on his show last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really interesting to see what's going on with him because the left is so far afield. And you would think he would just go afield with them. Yeah. That's what I would have thought. But he isn't.
Yeah.
He isn't.
It seems like my biggest criticisms of Bill Maher have been that he just blindly rips Republicans, right?
Yeah.
And without, sometimes it's a fun line, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just because they're Republicans. And I think his biggest thing is he's always ripping religion.
Mm-hmm.
If he would just, and would never say change your speech or your thoughts or whatever, but it's like if you cut out his just blind hatred of everything GOP, which I think we actually could find common ground on that, and then stop going out of your way to rip religion. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, he'd be kind of a reasonable guy.
Yeah.
Logical.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun though because his audience a lot of times doesn't know
They
how
don't
to
know what
react
to do.
anymore. They don't know what to
do
do. It's like, wait, what? Okay, now I got to clap for everything Bill says because he's one of our big liberal leaders, but that doesn't seem right.
The poor applause guy, the guy who runs the applause light. Says, "Oh, I better turn this on. They're not."
Or should I turn it off? Is he saying something too radical? Should we not? Yeah, it's very confusing to him. Very confusing. We got a great propaganda song from Britain that was sent to us. Jab today, safer tomorrow.
This will be good, right?
Here's a little listen to that.
All right, now, world, listen up.
Oh, no. Corby, is it time for commercials yet?
What's the thing that all connects us?
Is it love or is it a virus?
We want to live, we want to be loved.
Let's be safe as one.
Yeah. What? The jab is not something to scare us.
It's not a Russian roulette to dare us.
It's done with head and heart together.
Made with global love.
It's a cult. It's a cult. I don't. That's it.
Safer tomorrow. Jab today, safer tomorrow.
It's a cult.
Jab today, safer tomorrow.
Are these people we're supposed to know?
I don't know. Maybe in Britain?
Because I don't know them, but
I get some sort of show over there. I just know it's a cult. What are you babbling
all right,
about?
that's great. Jab today, safer tomorrow. Unless the jab kills you, then that doesn't really apply, does it? But that's only happened 15 or 20,000 times.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Right. Well,
pretty good chance it won't happen to you.
So rare.
You know? It might be jab today, dead tomorrow, but maybe not.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Is that amazing?
What's wrong, Caesar?
We have Caesar, one of Glenn's bodyguards. And he's, as you can see, do we have the camera on him?
Yeah.
He's had a few workouts. And so, oh, he did it!
Oh my gosh!
He opened the impossible to open Pepsi bottle. Thank you, Caesar. That's awesome.
You rock.
Thank you. This was unopenable.
He is the sixth person in this building to try to open that.
Nice, yeah.
Nice.
He's got those guns. Of course, we loosened it for him.
That's right.
But
I was running around here with that, trying to find somebody to open it, and then I was looking for a pair of pliers, something.
For some reason, they're starting to do this with bottles now.
I'm telling you, it's a thing where they say we're protecting the earth because we're giving less plastic out there. And it's stupid because they're reducing costs is all they're doing, production costs.
And they're screwing up the fact that you can even get to their product.
There you go.
Thank you. Yes, I do need that.
But seriously, and they're just making them smaller and smaller, and it's impossible to open unless your name is Caesar and you work out on a hourly basis. Thank you.
That was a good idea to go track him down.
Yeah.
Because was it not working with the
oh yeah, I was trying. I tried that. Me and Martin were trying. Sarah Sullivan.
At first, I thought maybe it's just me because I've got arthritis in both my hands right here, and it hurts to twist.
No.
And so, but no, that thing was just.
But grab your water bottle there too. Look how little you have to work with the surface area to get a grip here.
Almost no.
That's not old man talk.
No.
That is cheap production companies who lie that they're saving the earth when really they're just trying to save money on plastic, and then you end up having to run around finding somebody to open your drink for you.
So crazy. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. 888-900-3393. 1 in 8 people now say they won't be giving presents this year to loved ones who disagree with them on COVID-19.
Oh, no.
And the vaccine.
I thought it was going to be a shipping issue. Order now or your presents won't get there by December 25th.
No, this is just tantrum time.
Oh,
that's
my
all.
gosh.
I don't like how you think, so I'm not going to give you a Christmas present.
No, okay. That'll break my heart. Whatever. Beat it.
Plus, those are the kind of people who are going to get you something crappy anyway.
Yes. Socks.
Yeah.
Or a tie.
Or a doily with Joe Biden's face imprinted on it.
Exactly. Got some tweets. Not an apostle for Hochul. Tweets. Biden said he would unite the country. Are we there yet? Yeah, we're so close. So close to total unification. The Steve 42. None of this is about a respiratory virus or a vaccine, and it only stops when we make it stop.
Yep.
Watchman, Tennessee. Has Fauci ever once recommended vitamin D3, zinc, or vitamin C or sunshine? I don't think so. Maybe in the very beginning, I know they talked about sunshine and how that can kill the virus quickly, but I don't think so. Jeffy's 18 spoons. Screw you, Fauci, you fascist pile of excrement.
Yes.
There is never a good time to give up individual rights. There is nothing good about the greater good. Evil. Indeed. Indeed. We're seeing a lot of it right now. A lot of it.
It's not shy.
No. I mean, they're coming right out and telling us right now. Sorry, no, you got to give up your freedom here on this one. No, I don't. I'm going to say no on that one. But they keep trying to push us that direction as if they can even take these from us, because that's the whole principle of the thing, is that they don't have the ability to take these from us. They're God-given, and only God can take these away. Government can't. That was the beauty of America. But that's not the prevailing theory anymore. At least not with this administration, and not with their buffoons who are trying to deal with this pandemic. Let's go to Christine in Rhode Island. Hey, Christine, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make a comment. I'm basically losing my job as of October 31st, and because I just refused to get this vaccination.
Yeah.
Scary. I can't get a medical. They won't allow me to get a medical exemption. I have a severe seafood, shellfish allergy, and I'm just scared to death to get it.
Are there lobsters in this vaccine? Or
I don't know what's in this vaccine.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The scary part.
Okay.
And, I've done research and I've seen that, there are cases, maybe not a lot of cases, but there are cases where people have had anaphylactic episodes. I've had 2 in my life since I was 50, and it's not fun. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
But I just, the absurdity of this whole mandate. I work as a medical biller, and I work very close to my job, and so I volunteered to go in and do the stuff that can't be done from home. So since April of 2020, I have been in the office above the clinic working while everybody else stayed home and worked from home. And now I've been told I can't even go into the building.
That's crazy.
And I only have until October 31st, and then I lose my job.
Oh, man.
It's madness, man. Don't forget that website, jobsnotjabs.com. Look for an employer that doesn't require that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's I didn't realize there was a website out there.
Jobsnotjabs.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this whatever it is in the bill that says, if you employ anybody who's not vaccinated, we'll fine you. Well, that makes it even harder for me to find a job if employers are going to be running scared.
If they're going to fine people $700,000, well, that would put some businesses out of business to be fined that kind of money. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. So what's the chances of me now? It's difficult enough. My age, I'm 57, so my age has something to do with it, and they can't tell me that they don't discriminate. That's kind of BS. But so I'm kind of behind the 8 ball on a lot of different fronts, and I just wanted to add my 2 cents. So
appreciate it. Thanks, Christine. Hopefully, we'll hope and say prayers for you that find a job quickly.
Yeah, you reminded me of an article that I read a few days ago when you were talking about, is there lobsters in the vaccine? So have you heard that China, their state-controlled media, reported that a batch of lobsters from Maine in November of 2019 that ended up at the Wuhan food market, that's where COVID came from lobsters from Maine. Yeah, because see what happened was they opened up these 55 boxes and then people got flu-like symptoms.
Of course, sure. So that came from it's a Maine, United States of America problem.
So we need to be going
China.
after Maine,
right?
And lobsters,
right,
from Maine, because that's where COVID originated.
So ridiculous. Michelle in Ohio. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I was just calling because I had COVID 15 months ago and just had the antibody testing done last week, and I still have antibodies.
Yep.
Right.
That should last you maybe a lifetime, actually. Yeah. I mean, they're long-lasting. I don't know why that's not registering with the Faucis of the world, but the natural immunity and the antibodies you build up from your own system are actually better than what you would get from the vaccine. So
right. My employer, though, is telling me that I should still get the vaccine. So
do you have to, or are they just recommending?
They're coming down pretty hard by December 1st. So wait and see.
Yeah.
I'm still working from home, so I'm hoping that just continues.
Well, yeah, and if you're working from home, what do they care if you have the vaccine or not?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right. Thanks, Michelle. Good luck.
Because it's not about health. I mean, which is the same reason why, was it that student at Rutgers who can't take his final classes from home?
Online.
Yeah, because he doesn't get the vax. Oh, you're just out. Same thing like in Ontario, again, it comes up in the news. The colleges there saying, nope, we don't care if you're going to be at home taking classes. You can't be enrolled here because it's not about health. If it were, we would have tested for antibodies from the beginning, and then they would have an antibody card that would be just as good as a vax card. But it's not about your health. It's about control.
Just as good, if not better, than a vax card.
So tiring.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. AOC. We don't really know what she's babbling about here. We don't know what this is.
Decipher this, y'all.
Better than nothing isn't something better than nothing.
Nailed it.
Kind of thing.
You got it.
Here's what. Here's that from AOC.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Isn't something better than nothing? And you know what we have to say? I stood up in front of the caucus and I said, that might be an easy thing for some of you all to say. Because when a bill passes that is underfunded, that only gives a crumb, you get that crumb.
Yep. That's right.
What?
Because when you only give some and not all, then some people get nothing. Some people get nothing. Who gets nothing? We get nothing.
You get nothing.
So
you're
standing up there in that Capitol, and I was like, I don't know if y'all know yet by now, but I'm from the Bronx. When you tell me isn't something better than nothing, what I hear, what you're actually telling me, is
what I'm telling you
for you better?
Yeah.
Isn't something for you better? And
something for you
why
better?
don't you accept nothing so that I can get something?
Yeah. Wow, that's so powerful.
That's what's actually being said.
It's so what I think what she's saying is that nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And you got to have something if you want to be with me.
Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if I read between the lines.
Right.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Okay.
You got to have something if you want to be with me. You know?
And she wrote that down and set it to music, huh?
I don't know. Look, I'm not trying to be your hero because that zero is too cold for me. Not trying to be your highness because that minus is too low to see.
Wow.
Yeah.
She said a lot that we didn't get on the video clip there.
Well, I'm just, looking between the lines, reading between the lines. What was she babbling about? What was that even about?
It's about, I think, the reconciliation.
I kind of thought it must be like,
and we didn't,
because like,
oh no,
like
whatever, and like or whatever, just like.
So, just an update on that. They are in so much turmoil there, the Democrats, for a change. Biden wants a $3.5 trillion deal. Manchin says I won't go above 1.5 trillion. Bernie Sanders wanted 6 trillion at one point. Talk about Overton window. It makes 3.5 trillion look reasonable.
Yeah.
But Manchin and Sinema are standing tall. God bless them. Call them and say thanks.
And Sinema's paying for it too. She actually she teaches a class at Arizona State and had to go to the bathroom, and some screwballs followed her in there.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'll be back.
Should everyone talk to you real quick?
Ridiculous.
Hi, actually, I am heading out.
But right now is a real moment that our people need in order for us to be able to talk about what's really happening.
Don't do it.
We need a Build Back Better plan right now.
No, don't do it.
We knocked on doors.
Oh
we
my.
need solutions. The Build Back Better plan.
Oh my gosh!
Unreal.
We knocked on doors for you to get you elected, and just how we got you elected, we can get you out of office if you don't support what you promised us.
Unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable.
We need the Build Back Better plan right now.
Her name is Blanca. I was brought here to
stall.
United States
The
when
guy
I was 3
came in
years
too.
old.
Yes.
Right? And in 2010, my grandparents both got deported because of SB 1070.
I can't believe
And I'm
this.
here because I definitely believe that we need a pathway to citizenship. My grandfather passed away 2 weeks ago, and I was not able to go to Mexico and visit him because
Why?
there is no pathway to citizenship. And if we have the
No, you
opportunity
can go to
pass it
Mexico
right
anytime
now,
you want.
then we need to do
What are
it
you talking
because there's
about?
millions of undocumented people just like me who share the same story or even worse things
Okay, I
that
can't
happen
even
to
listen
them.
to her
because-
anymore.
Yeah,
I
that just
cannot
goes on
listen
and on.
to it.
And she just comes out and ignores them and goes on her way.
Oh, man. Good for her for just not even saying anything to him. She just didn't entertain it, which is the way you got to handle that. Oh, man.
We are literally
agonizing.
Following politicians into a bathroom stall now?
We can't have that.
Our society is over.
Oof.
That's
really bad.
Help us.
All right, let me tell you about Omega XL. Here's something that can help you have a better day. If everything else is going screwy, like everything in the news, but you are also in pain all day long, that can make for a really bad day, week, month, year. There is something that can help, and it's called Omega XL. This is an all-natural treatment backed by 35 years of clinical research, the omega fatty acids from the waters around New Zealand. And this has what's essentially an off switch for inflammation. And once the inflammation goes away, the pain goes away. Just works so well. Give it a try and see if it works for you. It could really change your life. To get you started, when you go to omegaxl.com/Pat, and you order one bottle, we'll throw in a second one for free. Visit omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. This is what they've been warning us about. KKK white supremacists.
Oh, no.
Yeah, trying to drive black residents from their neighborhood.
Oh, no. Come on.
Terrorized. This Georgia neighborhood was terrorized by a person claiming to be a white male member of the Ku Klux Klan. However, police now say the person making racially motivated threats to burn down houses in the neighborhood and kill people is actually a black woman. Every single time. Why? Because Americans just aren't like this. We don't do this kind of crap. I mean, there was a time, I guess, when this happened in the South mostly, but that time seems to be pretty much over. This almost never happens in a real way. Last December, residents of the Brookmont subdivision of Douglasville began receiving racially charged letters in their mailbox. The handwritten notes claimed to be from a 6-foot-tall white male with a long red beard who was a member of the KKK. Now, if you're describing yourself when you're writing these kinds of notes, hey, by the way, I'm a 6-foot-tall white male with a long red beard, and I'm a member of the KKK.
How do you work that in casually into a letter?
I don't think you do.
Hey, neighbor, just want you to know, if you haven't seen me around the neighborhood when I go on my walks, I'm the
guy with the long red beard who's white.
Yeah.
Who's white.
Uh-huh.
Usually I'm spitting out some chaw that I've been chawing on all morning long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a proud member of the KKK.
Now that I got that out of the way, let me tell you why I'm writing you. Come on.
It's so weird. I wonder if that was their first clue that this may not be a white guy. The notes, which used the N-word and talked about hanging people, were received by at least 7 black residents in the suburb.
Since December, this has been going on.
About 25 miles from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this area?
I am very familiar with Douglasville, yes.
So detectives went door to door to check doorbell cameras. See, that's a thing in this day and age.
Right.
You're going to get caught when you do this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they handed out flyers to residents about the racially motivated threats.
Did they say, be on the lookout for a 6-foot-tall white dude chewing tobacco with a long red beard?
Indeed, yeah. Who's a member of the KKK.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Uh-huh. That's how they got him, huh?
But then they found out, they stuck with it and found out it was a 30-year-old black female, Teresha Lucas.
Well, that sounds like a white dude's name.
The detectives gathered enough evidence then to obtain a search warrant. During the search, they found all kinds of evidence that tied her to these notes.
Yeah, okay, so...
Why are you doing it?
Yeah, and
what are you doing?
You kind of made a pretty general statement, I think, when you started reading that. And you said, every time, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have any other examples, or are you just picking that one out?
There was last week when a black former Emory University employee was arrested and suspected of writing the N-word and drawing swastikas on the university's autism center.
Oh, boy.
Another race hate hoax, was exposed in Missouri, where racist graffiti was painted in a high school bathroom that ignited a student walkout. However, the school district revealed that the culprit was black. In May, a person of color created an Instagram account that spewed hateful racist messages.
Just wanted one more example.
The incendiary post sparked a school walkout in Minnesota, but later was revealed to be a hoax sent under false pretense from a person of color.
Okay.
In April.
Again.
Racist and anti-Semitic graffiti featuring references to the Ku Klux Klan was found at Michigan's Albion College, which prompted students and staff members to walk out of the school. The perpetrator, who is black, admitted to writing the racist messages. Why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that the kids doing the walkout, kids just need the slightest excuse to walk out. Oh, yeah, well, I'm walking out, okay, because I'm mad about the Falcons losing to the Washington Redskins. I mean, you literally just need...
any excuse.
Excuse for that.
You mean we can get out of school for a little while? All right, I'm really outraged. I am outraged.
We got to
over
fix
this
these
graffiti.
schools, man. Bad stuff happening there.
And a professor is suing UCLA after he was suspended for refusing to grade black students differently than white students. You would think he'd be given some sort of medal or something because he's not being racist. He's expecting the same things out of the black kids that he's expecting out of the white. And why wouldn't you?
Wow, what a hater.
Why? It's racist to do the opposite of this. As the Daily Wire reported, the students requested all of these accommodations. And the accommodations they're requesting are that they be graded differently due to...
their skin tone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's and due to recent traumas too, that they've been placed in a position where we must choose between actively supporting our black classmates or focusing on finishing up our spring quarter.
Oh, this is during the George Floyd stuff. So
we believe that remaining neutral in times of injustice brings power to the oppressor, and therefore staying silent is not an option. But the UCLA professor said, you need to be in class.
Yeah, he said, are you in Minnesota? Are you in that neighborhood?
All right.
What are you talking? You're in California, man.
Yeah, UCLA. That's like University of California, Los Angeles.
Yeah, just give me an A, prof. Give me an A. I don't want to do the work.
And he wouldn't do it. So
now he's out of a job.
He's suspended.
Pat Gray.
I am.
Wow.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. Well, at least those not in this room or the next one. But great to have you.
You were talking to me, right?
Freaking
what happened?
Chris Corby.
What about Chris Corby? What did he do? I didn't have my headphones on.
He's laughing at me because I got my headphone cord tangled up and couldn't figure out how to. Yeah, he didn't. So,
hey,
he's mocking me.
Here you go.
He is right now mocking me.
Why don't you mess around with that instead of your headphones during this segment? Got your little fidget toy there.
I've actually been throwing this aside. I think today. Have I done it today? Have you noticed?
I haven't.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't really.
But yeah, I'm happy to fidget with this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like this. Yeah.
That's fine.
Great.
It is good.
A Minnesota middle school. This is great.
Looks like a waffle in your hand right now, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, Minnesota middle school. Sorry to distract you there.
Will no longer give students F grades in an attempt to combat systemic racism.
Really?
Yeah, because an F grade, that only went to black students, I guess. I don't think that's the case, but that's what you'd be led to believe. The new policies were enacted after an equity audit purportedly found grading disparities among students of color. Sunrise Park Middle School in White Bear Lake announced that teachers would no longer give F grades to students for the 2021-2022 school year. Test scores of 59.49% are no longer an F.
And this is after their equity audit.
Yes. But they're now considered a grade of I. Okay.
Wait.
I mean,
I.
What is that? Incomplete?
Idiot?
Idiocy?
Yeah, if you get an F, man. Come on. Idiot.
No matter how low the score is, including 0, any grade below 50% is automatically raised to 50% based on the new grading system for the school that serves students in grades 6 through 8. Such a disservice to people.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole intent is to ensure that grades focus on the process of learning.
I love it.
That's what Principal Christine Pierre said in a YouTube video.
Spin it, Christine.
Therefore, grades will not include behavior, attitude, tardiness to class, whether the assignment was turned in later on time. None of those things will be considered.
Bro.
So there's other ways we can communicate those things to parents. The district's superintendent, Wayne Kazmierczak, has said grading can be one of the largest areas in which systemic racism occurs.
See, it's the greater good, Pat.
Anything that is just anything that is difficult is now systemic racism. Anything.
It's kind of like the minimum wage. Why are we arbitrarily picking 50 to raise a 0 up to a 50? Why not 100?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Everybody wins.
Everybody gets an A from now on. Everybody. Well, except whiteys.
Yes.
We can still fail whiteys.
I'm glad you caught yourself there.
Yeah, wow.
Hater.
I mean, come on. If Whitey gets like a 90, they should get 100, so we're going to fail them.
Huh? Wait.
Yeah, 90 is a failing grade now for whiteys.
What? I don't care for that. Okay, so I would say, this is where you would say, just wait till you get out into the real world. Wait till you get to college, and then reality slaps you in the face. No, they're going to college to study gender studies or some bull crap. It's not going to matter what kind of grades they have there either.
They're going to coddle them. in college, and they might even coddle them in the workplace now.
I know. Well, if they get the vax.
With businesses like Coke, they'll take on these guys and they'll coddle them. Well, yeah, you didn't complete your assignment. Don't worry about it. That's okay. You didn't do it as I don't want to say anything negative. So good job. Good job. That job will just go undone for now. That's all. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do here except for completely crumble as a society if we don't stop this.
Precisely what was
BS.
going through my head when you were reading that. Like, we're done.
If we don't turn it around, we are. If we don't turn it around, I got to hold out some hope that we're going to.
Okay.
Jeez. I mean, we do have some bright spots.
Do we?
I don't know how big a star Pitbull is. How big is Pitbull? Big? Corby, are you familiar with Pitbull music? He's a rapper, right?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I know of him.
You know of him. I mean, is his stuff played on the radio a lot?
What's a radio?
Here's the latest from Pitbull. The Big Frog, 109.9. The only station beyond the bandwidth of your FM dial.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen his name out there, and
yeah, I have
some
too.
Song I can't think of it off the top of my head here, but there's some song out there that
you've heard from
I'm
Pitbull.
familiar with.
Okay,
not that says much.
Well, here's Pitbull talking about if you don't love America, then get out. Essentially.
So whoever the doesn't like the United States of America, may God bless you, but you at the same time.
Yes, yes.
If you don't like the United States of America, go back to the countries that we the from, and you'll see how much you appreciate the United States of America.
Thank you. And people are cheering that. That's great. So Pitbull is from Cuba, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if his parents are from Cuba or he himself lived in Cuba at some point, but that's why he appreciates the United States of America. He's seen the other side of this, and he knows how bad it really is.
Oh, boy. I'm just trying to see if... Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just this concert, particular arena here, but I was just seeing if he required a vaccine.
Oh, it probably did.
At this way. Again, and it varies.
Probably not him.
Yeah.
I mean...
But Travis Tritt, he said if I'm canceling the shows that they're requiring
oh, really?
vaccine. Yeah, so good on you, Travis Tritt. But anyway, so that's a great message right there. I like
sure
it.
Is.
I like it a lot.
Love it. And it's kind of interesting because there's a new study now that reveals 77% of Venezuelans now live in extreme poverty. Oh. That's risen about 10% in a single year. So it was 67%, which is still outrageous. And now it's up to 77%.
And this isn't just poverty. Like, I'm hungry.
It's extreme poverty.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
What's the definite? Okay.
Really bad. In the absence of opportunities, according to sociologist Pedro Luis Espana, it's sitting in front of the door of the house doing nothing, not because you don't want to do anything, but because there's nowhere to do it. A host of economic problems currently plague the oil-rich South American nation, including hyperinflation, power struggles, and shortages of food and medicine. According to the BBC, more than 5.6 million Venezuelans have fled the country in recent years. Phew.
Wow. So 20% of respondents said that they can't afford gasoline for their cars.
Even in Venezuela, where they subsidize it greatly.
Where they are an oil-rich nation.
Is it 10 cents a gallon or something? I don't know. It's really affordable, what we would consider affordable. But 77% are in extreme poverty.
95% qualify as any kind of poverty.
They just knocked 6 zeros off the price of their goods and services. 6 zeros to try to combat inflation because it had gotten so bad.
I mean, if we're being honest, that's the path we're on. America's on the path of Venezuela meets South Africa. We're going to have a race war while we can't afford gas for our vehicles. Yay! Yay! It's going to be awesome.
Happy Monday!
Happy Monday, everybody. Oh, yeah. Do you have the vax yet? Yeah, so it's going to be it's going to be the extreme poverty with the race war in the streets. And by the way, the vax versus the unvax, too. So,
yep.
Rich versus poor. I mean,
Democrat versus Republican.
Is there any way they haven't divided us yet?
No. Well, there probably is. And they'll probably figure out another way to do it.
I mean, they've already destroyed our sports, right? You know, like you got so many people that won't watch sports now because of, you know, the whole social justice bullcrap there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing sacred, period. I mean, you can't even go to the bathroom without being accosted. Ask Kirsten Sinema.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, if you're trying to sell your home and it's been a difficult process, you need to get a hold of Real Estate Agents I Trust and find a really good realtor in your area. The best of the best. These people have been carefully vetted by Glenn's team. This is Glenn's company. And so he and his team carefully vet these agents to make sure that they've got really good track records, that they've sold homes in the past, like a lot of homes, and they have good marketing plans. And they're not going to just rely on an open house every single weekend. So people can tromp through your house and you can leave every weekend. And you can keep your house immaculate the whole time. It's really hard. And they can give you the advice on how to sell your home the fastest and for the most amount of money. So will you get your money out of, let's say, replacing the cabinetry or your countertops? They can give you that advice. And so you're going to come out on top when you sell your house or buying your house for the getting the most for your money. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really kind of says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Homeland Security Secretary says the U.S. will no longer deport just because people are here illegally. So congratulations. You just opened the floodgates again. And that's why, one of the reasons why, in October, they're expecting even more visitors to our country. Unwelcome visitors. People we didn't invite.
Visitors.
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
400,000 illegal aliens are expected this month. 400,000.
These policies are destroying us by design.
They're trying. They're trying their darndest. This is a cool story, though. We should give this just to give a little bit of hope and to make you feel good as an American. Remember the baby that we saw in the viral video being lifted over the barbed wire in Kabul by a Marine? Well, that baby has been relocated to Arizona with her family. How cool is that?
Excellent.
The father of 8-week-old Leah, identified only as Hamid for security reasons, because they don't want the Taliban or other terrorists to hunt this guy down and kill him. He said that he gave his daughter to the Marine, who was obviously a total stranger, because he was a Marine, and that therefore he trusted him and knew my daughter would be safe.
So cool.
That just gives me chills.
Yeah.
To know that our Marines conducted themselves in such a way, and I had no doubt this was the case, but they conduct themselves in such a way that the people have been watching them and seeing the way they conduct themselves to the point where they turn their own daughter over to them when they don't even know them. What military force would you do that? Would you do that with China? China's army? Here you go. Here's my child. Do something, safe with her, please. Russia? Would you do that with Iranian troops? I don't know that I'd do it with British troops. Maybe.
Gosh, I'm so glad. Because that's one of those stories that you think, oh my gosh, that baby is going to be separated from her family forever. But thankfully, she's getting to America.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad. These are the individuals that we wanted to get out of Afghanistan. People like this family.
Yes.
My gosh, I just hope they're actually not in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope they're actually in Kentucky or something, just so the Taliban is clueless as to their whereabouts. But that's such a great story, and I'm so happy for them.
He said, what was heartbreaking is I was inside and had somebody to pull my daughter over the wire. There were thousands of others who didn't have that opportunity. The father was warned by the Marines his daughter could get hurt being lifted over the wall, but he chose to take the chance anyway because he'd rather her get hurt than die. Yeah. And again, he didn't know this Marine from anybody, but he trusted him because he's a United States Marine. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be all about, right? And that's what we are all about.
Yeah, now Hamid wants to meet that Marine and give him a hug.
That's really cool.
That is really cool.
I love that story. And it's great that somehow they reunited here in the United States. That's really something. Meanwhile, life under Taliban rule is being compared to being like the Nazi occupation. Taliban's claims of a new and improved ruling class is just a myth, as terrorized residents find themselves living out scenes akin to Nazi Germany. Afghans have resorted to selling household items for survival, begging for food, and watching roving bands of Taliban members mete out justice, any justice they see fit without a court of law. The residents now suspiciously eye neighbors and even close friends as possible spies who could instantly spell death at the hands of the Taliban guards. Ugh. I pray at all times that this current state is a nightmare and that it will be over as soon as possible, said the sister of a former Afghan military officer who worked with U.S. Special Operations Forces. The desperate pleas of his family to escape were reported by the Washington Examiner on August 28th. The implosion of the Afghan government and its subsequent takeover by the Taliban left a stunned population unsure of how to go about everyday life. Yeah, can you imagine 20 years of freedom, and then all of a sudden, in 11 days, it's completely gone, and life as you know it is over. And now there's a brand new reality that is stark and ugly and dangerous. Got to be tough. People who do have jobs tied to the government are told the lie, you've been paid, and they're not paid. And so there's hunger and desperation, and money is running out. Decent paying jobs are scarce. Women can't go to school anymore after the 6th grade. Man, this has got to be tough.
And these schools aren't teaching necessarily, your 3 R's, but
which, by the way,
yes,
only one of them start with R.
That is so.
Isn't that weird?
That explains our school system right there, if I'm being honest.
It does, yeah. The 3 R's, there's 1 R. There's an R, a W, reading, writing, and an A. Okay, so R, W, A.
Arithmetic, yeah. So
weird.
The first point I was making was that, as the Taliban is in charge of your education, this is going to go well. This is going to go well.
Yeah. You're going to learn correct principles and truth from the Taliban.
Yeah, like which wire to cut, right?
Yeah. Right.
Where how to build explosives. How to hate people that are different than you.
By the way, have you heard the attacks have gone way up since we left?
In the Taliban's Afghanistan?
Yeah.
I won't hear of it.
I know. ISIS-K apparently doesn't get along with the Taliban, so things are going even better than you would have hoped. Because in addition to all of the oppression, you also have the terrorist attacks. So,
but all the Americans that wanted to leave they're left. All the good people that helped us there, they're gone,
long gone.
Right? Nothing's happening to them, right?
No, everybody's here and having a really good time now.
Good.
So don't even worry about that.
Okay. Well, Joe Biden sure as hell doesn't.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. Ugh, it's such a botched situation.
It's horrific.
All right. More good news. Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors has another great message about the vaccine from an NBA superstar, an NBA player who's not going along to get along. Here's what he has to say about the vaccine.
That would be like me telling him, like, yo, your wife is going into labor. How dare you leave this team and not go tend to your wife for what that could mean for this team? That's something that's personal to him. health related. That's, something that's personal to his family. This is no different. This is, we're dealing with something that to me feels like has turned into a political war.
What?
When you're talking about a vaccination and non-vaccinated, I think it's become very political. And, for someone who's not extremely into politics, when you make something so political and not everyone is into politics, then you can also turn those people off.
Really?
And
that could happen?
I think there is something to be said for people's concern about something that's being pressed so hard. Like, why are you pressing this so hard?
Thank you.
Like, so much. You're just pressing and pressing and pressing. I think you have to honor people's feelings and their own personal beliefs. And I think that's been lost.
This is from a vaccinated person, by the way.
Vaccinated and non-vaccinated. And it kind of sucks that that's been lost.
It kind of does.
You're essentially not giving anyone, you say we live in a land of the free.
Yeah.
Well, you're not giving anyone freedom.
Thank you.
Because you're making people do something essentially without necessarily making them. You're making them do something.
Yeah, you are.
And that goes against everything that America stands for or supposedly stands for.
Right. Thank you.
And so I don't think, I know I'm not in any position to go tell him what he should or should not be doing.
I love it.
And as a leader of this team, I'm not going to go to him and say, hey, man, we really need, no, the hell, you do what you feel you want to do. That has nothing. I'm not going to go and ask him, did he get a polio vaccine? So why would I go ask him if he got a COVID vaccine?
That's so great. That is awesome. And because the question was, are you gonna? I forget who the teammate is, but there's a teammate who's not vaccinated, and they wanted him to go to that teammate and tell him to get vaccinated for the good of the team. And he's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not going to do that. This is America, and he has the right to make his own decision for himself and his family. That's just great. And I think this is blowing away the media. Like, why are these NBA superstars talking about liberty?
Yeah, they want these athletes to speak out on matters of social justice, BLM, and all this stuff, right?
Yep.
But oh my gosh, if they have an opinion on the vaccine, or however he pronounced it, I love that. I'm going to start calling it just the VAS. Are you vaccinated? I love that now. Anyhow, you can't have that opinion. Oh, no.
No, you can't.
Oh, no.
No, you can't.
I'm loving it.
That's tremendous. And LeBron James is doing the same thing. And, of course, that's not acceptable to the left. How dare he? How dare he not force his will on NBA players who don't want to get vaccinated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How long is this View thing? Is it too long?
It's too long, and we even cut it down. But maybe we can play it tomorrow where the View is really
They're mad at LeBron.
I love it. LeBron's like, make your own choice.
What are the odds that we'd be on the same side of this thing as LeBron James?
Further proof that the world has lost its ever-loving mind.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, man.
It sure has. It certainly has.
Upside down.
Thank goodness there's some superstar athletes that are standing up for freedom. Freedom! I feel like...
Yeah. And Braveheart over here.
Braveheart, Wallace.
Mel Gibson here.
Yeah. Jeez.
Can you wear the war paint and stuff tomorrow and maybe the kilt just for full character and just start off the show?
I don't think we need that.
Oh, we need it.
I don't think we need that.
No?
Maybe Wednesday with Jeffy. He can wear the kilt.
No, we don't need that. You were right the first time.
See you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.